When Kent Herbeck was asked if he'd rather win the World Series or get an MVP award, he replied, "I'd much rather win the World Series. Then you can go out and get drunk with 25 other guys. If you win the MVP, you get to go out and get drunk by yourself. What fun is that?" This quote was referenced in a study about cooperation and competition that classified 4 ways to complete a task. One is individual-based, where you set a goal for yourself, like beating all the levels or licking envelopes.
For example, you could see how many you can lick in an hour, and then try to break that record.
Sounds like a pretty crappy game to me.
Then there's pure cooperation, where 2 or more people help each other to try and reach a common goal. But if one person is trying to outperform others in a zero-sum situation, it's called pure competition, and if there's a group of people trying to outperform another group, you have what's called intergroup competition. According to the study, which was based on shooting free throws, people enjoyed intergroup competition much more than the other 3 types. This might not be a surprise if you consider that the most popular sports and esports in the world are team competitions. And many games known for their singles tournaments have team variants. Even MMA has the Team Fighting Championship, but man, it kinda looks like a bar fight. While some games are designed with team competition in mind, 2-player fighting games are not, so people had to create team rules that made sense. Each team sends 1 player to play each other for 1 game. The winner stays on while the loser is eliminated and replaced with another player from that team. This continues until one team eliminates everyone from the other. The problem is, players on a team often don't even get to play if their teammates beat everyone on the other team first, and this makes you wonder to what extent you can even say, "we did it." Regardless, team fighting game tournaments can be hugely popular.
A perfect Kagemaru just won Master Cup 9.
Master Cup is the largest team Tekken tournament in the world with over 1,000 people competing. So what is it that makes teams so great? For one, more people can play in a shorter amount of time. Because someone is getting eliminated after every game, moments of tension and excitement are more frequent. Each game, you get 5 people celebrating and 5 people being salty. The game time to pop-off ratios simply can't be matched by singles tournaments. Not bad if you want that max CPM. But having teams with the 1-game elimination format changes up the strategy a bit.
First to 1 strategy is pretty interesting because you're able to do things that you wouldn't normally do in a first to 2. So for example, you can play a little bit more risky, your defense matters more, people are more afraid, so people get really hesitant and it allows you to be more offensive sometimes as well. So the team strategy is always the order, right? That's what's most important because you want to make sure that you don't put your players up against a bad opponent essentially, a bad character matchup. So usually, with our team at least, we spend a lot of time saying like, how do you feel about these characters? Like the whole characters, we don't know what lineup they're throwing at us, so we say, well, I'm pretty good against all those characters, I'll go first. And then second, and since we had Japanese and Korean players, it was kind of like, how do we not swap an arcade board every time, the arcade panels?
So a side note to a side note, Master Cup 10 required the Korean players to bring their own arcade panels if they wanted to play on their circle gate levers, and they actually had a dedicated person to change out the panels on demand. Teams with a mix of Japanese and Korean players put this guy in overtime. Anyways, back to team strategy. The strongest player on the team is often reserved for last because they have to bear the most pressure.
They're saving low high for last? Yep. All right, Amoeba coming up. Low high in the back, Evo champ.
If the anchor loses, the whole team loses, which is why you need someone with good mental strength. But mental strength can be strongly influenced by your teammates. When teammates cheer each other on or console each other after a setback, it's not just a show put on for stream monsters or a social obligation. Emotional support can improve performance. In a study published in the Journal of Applied Sports Psychology, researchers measured the performance of 3 high-level golfers. Half the time, they were getting one-on-one support from head researcher Dr. Freeman. Support included talking through tough times, encouragement to ease pressure, and even helping to sort out accommodations when traveling. With Dr. Freeman's support, the 3 golfers improved by an average of 1.78 shots per round. Being able to get help and contributing to others are sometimes reasons alone to play on teams.
When I came to Master Cup, I didn't want to be the guy that lost every game because when you look at my team's lineup, it seemed like I'm the weakest link. So I just want to go out there and make sure I got a win.
But there's also the benefit of sharing losses. The salt from losing is distributed to the whole team instead of just one person. The bigger the team, the more you can plausibly deny that you lost because of you, while equally basking in the glory when your team wins. When a team wins a Super Bowl, everyone gets a ring. And I mean everyone. The NFL actually pays for 150 rings, each worth up to $7,000 for the winning team, to give to people who they think deserve one. That's nearly 100 rings for people who are not on the team's roster. But working together is not always easy. At this year's Winter Olympics, there is some serious K-drama when the Korean women's team literally left one of their skaters behind during the team pursuit event. This is bad because 1, skaters have to stick close together so the ones behind can get a speed boost by slipstreaming, and 2, the last skater's time is the only one that counts. No one but the coach was there to console her, and when one of the other skaters was interviewed, she blamed her teammate for losing.
잘 타고 있었는데 마지막에 이렇게 뒤에 조금 저희랑 격차가 벌어지면서 기록이 조금 아쉽게 나온 것 같아요.
She subsequently got blown up by the internet for bullying and lost her sponsor. While I'm sure there were internal issues that caused this to happen, it's hard to not notice how little she respected the team event. Not everyone coming from a pure competition background is going to favor the team version of their game, but in fighting games, regional rivalries have been a long-time driver of competition, and teams can allow for a wider representation of that region, sponsor, or even character.
We got confirmation this is the All Gigas team against Team Korea.
So here's a question. How would you feel if all the fighting game pro circuits completely abandoned singles tournaments for 3v3 or 5v5 tournaments? Would you like it, hate it, or hate it while watching it anyways? This was Gerald from Corey Gaming. Thanks for watching.
And then later on in the day, of course, I got I took out like 4 people on one team or something after they had beaten Kudan. So it wasn't like I just took out some nobodies, right? So it was a good day for me.